Major moves. We going all in, like we got nothing to lose. We making moves. We making major moves. We making moves. We making major moves. We making moves.
Welcome back to my channel. I want to thank you guys for actively deciding to spend time with me. I'm just a guy in a Spider-Man mask, a cool one I might add. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just providing information and content already on the internet, and I just read it and present it to you guys in a way that may reach you or may not reach you. Whatever the reason is you found my page, I'm grateful you're here, and thank you for spending time with me. Let's get into this.
What is up, everybody? This is Mr. Man coming at you. I got a hot one for you today. This is just a mashup of multiple things, right? But it's usually the focus on one particular company. However, I tend to spring out and open up a multitude of different companies. Like I'll talk about AVAX and Lemonade, which I didn't talk about here. I've spoken about on my Twitter. That's a new insurance company that's coming out there. But what I want to do is bring you guys into where we are right now. And Vandal from Black Swan Capitalist, him and his brother, I want to say that we have similar mentalities in what we believe is going on here. So what he says is, I think the state of the economy is concerning. It will get far worse. Believe you me, we got so much more to go. Dollar instability, higher inflation, and interest rates plunging as deeper into recession, costing jobs. Then he goes on to say, prepare, start a side business, make some money, save money, stop buying dumb stuff. Dumb shit is what I would say. And buy assets. So that being said, I want to qualify this now, what he says there, because I agree with him. What we're going to be going through now is a printing recession. And that printing recession will bring on the upswing in terms of the 2025 bull run, or 2024 to 2025 bull run, and I have proof of this. And then the downward crash afterwards, and I believe I have that game plan in my head now. I could be completely wrong, but me being who I am, Mr. Man, I want to let you guys into my mind here and get you thinking what I'm thinking about. Again, I could be wrong, I could be right. We'll see where life leads. So, that being said, it is now August 31st, 2023. It is, what time is it? 9:07 p.m. That's 20:07 Zulu time. Here we go. This says, Ohio COVID-19 cases up 8th straight week. 3rd U.S. case of new variant confirmed in Lorain County, August 31st. That's today. So we got COVID on the rise. The big bad scary boogeyman. Cleveland, Ohio. The number of new COVID cases in Ohio rose yet again from 5,300 last week to 7,800 this week, marking the 8th consecutive week of climbing cases. Ooh! Whatever. Okay. Not diet. Is diet it? No, that's not it. This is it. Raw idea, mate. Okay. So COVID-19 BA2.86, the most mutated variant since Omicron. Canada's first case of BA has been R2D2 has been detected in British Columbia, but an emergency room physician says the real test for the highly mutated variant will be in the weeks after children return to the classroom for the new school year. Do you see the narrative being laid out in front of you? So it's not just COVID, but COVID in the school! Okay. That's where the COVID cases are going to shoot up at that point. And when does that happen? In the fall. Kids return back. I guess some kids, depending on where you work, end of August. And then a lot of the kids, or a bulk of the kids in North America, return back in September. The first couple weeks in September. I want to say it used to be the 4th, and depending on where you are, it could be the following week after that. I believe it's like the first week or second week of September. Anyway, so we have the narrative set up now. It's going to build you guys here the game plan and you come to your own conclusions, okay? So here we saw Canada, US, which is where we're heading right now. I'm Canada. A lot of you guys are US that follow me here. I don't need my VPN on right now. Actually, I'll keep it on. So, this is the WHO website here. Weekly epidemiological. Holy crap. I'm not slow. Some people think I'm slow because I come from Canada, eh? Weekly epidemiology update on COVID-19. Whatever. I never asked you anyways. In the last 28 days, period from July 24th to August 20th, that's the time range, nearly 1.5 million new COVID cases and over 2,000 deaths were reported from the WHO's 6 regions, an increase of 63% and a decrease of 43% respectively compared to the previous 28 days. As of August 20th, over 769 million confirmed cases and over 6.9 million deaths have been reported globally. 3 WHO regions reported increases in the number of cases, while 2 regions reported decreases. So let me tell you, in the fall, you're going to hear about CMBS, commercial mortgage-backed securities, coming out. You're going to hear about these things. This is like, and then in Q4, as the bank roll call comes out here with their earnings and you hear them not meeting, what do they call it? Shareholder demand there, or shareholder expectations, or what they had stated that they're going to earn for this year by Q4 this year, when they come out and state that we missed the mark by whatever percentage it was. Not going to make people happy. You better believe they're going to start pulling some money out of that bank at that point, or that real estate, or whatever it is, because that's shareholder money at that point. Which is why these entities want to move to stakeholder money, not shareholder money. Okay, so where are we at here? So you see the narrative being built up in Canada and the US and globally, wherever these WHO communities are. I don't know. So the US, or the US, the global debt clock here, you see US at $32 trillion. $32 trillion, okay? This is million at the 919. This is billion, 824, and this is trillion, $32 trillion. Public debt to GDP ratio is 92.13 in arrears. In arrears. Their GDP is 27 trillion. Their gross domestic product, that's what that country brings in on a whole. And their national debt, that's ridiculous. That's just insane. $32 trillion. You can see China's right there. You can see Japan's, Germany, UK, India, France, Italy, Brazil. So, now that we got that information here, the debt limit caps the total amount of allowable outstanding U.S. federal debt. The U.S. hit that limit of $31.4 trillion. That was their allowable limit. And that was on January 19th, 2023. But the Department of Treasury has been undertaking a set of extraordinary measures so that the debt limit does not yet bind. Does not yet bind. What are those driving mechanisms? What are those driving forces? What are they? I'll tell you. Jerome Powell and he's printing the shit out of money. Him and Justin Trudeau just That's my printing machine. Someone's on the other end with like a big wheel, just pushing like this, and the rolls of $100 bills are being printed over here. That's just what I picture. I mean, I'm sure it's automated now or whatever, but bear with me, okay? That's what I think of when I picture printing money. So we have COVID being built back up again, that narrative. I hope this doesn't blow up my page, but we have COVID being built back up again. If you remember in 2020 and 2021, when they rolled out in Canada the CERB program, the COVID Emergency Relief whatever the hell B stands for. In US, they came out with some other universal basic income subsidies. Let me call it subsidies as opposed to universal basic income. They came up with other subsidies to help people who were laid off of work for, a definitive amount of time. They were off of work. They were working from home. They needed subsidies to help out with things. Whatever the case may be, they had signed up for a government program. So the government printed the money to give to them. And during that time, if you recall, what happened? Individuals who were supposedly dead had checks made out to them. Individuals such as yourself or myself had about 3 or 4 or 5 checks coming to them, and the government couldn't keep check and balance of who the money was going to. So they say. So where are we at now? We're at blockchain. We are at blockchain. Okay? Let me let you hear this. Is this it? Listen to this, okay? Hold on, sorry, let me just mute so it's not too loud for y'all.
We all know that we are quite far away from real interoperability.
Super.
So-
Arne, go ahead.
So my top tip for engaging with the government, I'm fortunate enough to be on the Customs Consultative Committee with the European Commission and HMRC in the UK. And they are on a reform agenda to modernize their customs systems. So I was part of the Foresight, which is a methodology of studying the future group of how the EU Customs Union will look in 2040. And one of the results were one customs declaration, not 27, or no customs declarations. So if that's the solution, how do we get there? So the answer to this, if blockchain is the answer to this, we need to make that case now. And being in these committees and seeing how the digitalization and modernization of e-customs without blockchain evolves means we're missing a fundamental step. Mm-hmm. So being engaged in these foresights group, being part of the government discussion at European level, I think, is one of the one of the best ways to do it, because if we do it at European level, then we have a chance to bring that debate into Sweden, into the Czech Republic, into Romania, Bulgaria, and Hungary and the likes of it. So it's continuing to talk, and these user cases that you have now presented, and you, of course, they are gold for this, because they show that it can work at national level, at international level, at company level, and at government level. But it requires more investment of time and effort to explain how the current path they are on can be enhanced by blockchain. So it's government engagement through the foresight and through the forum that currently exists, I think.
Super. So enough of...
So you heard that? It's government engagement through the foresight of blockchain. Meaning that the government needs to be sold on the blockchain. So, what do they need? They need a proof of concept. How does that work? We go through what we went through before in terms of COVID. The government, here's my printing machine, ramps up inflation, or inflation is going up again, and what do they want to do? Level out the economy. It's going to be hard to level out the economy as they're going up, so they're going to print more money for us, just like when lockdown happened the last time, and they gave out those subsidies to people, which spurred the economy or brought new money into the economy because the economy was shut down and slowed the velocity of money. So now it was a proof of concept for the government to see how it actually worked, for them to use blockchain technology now. You have to have a digital ID to be able to receive this money. And how does that work? You connect to your bank account. Your bank account connects you directly from your bank account to the government wallet, whatever wallet they're using. It could be on, I'm not sure what entity. It could be RippleNet. It could be Stellar. It could be, I'm not sure. There's so many out there. It depends on your government and what they're using. I didn't mean to say RippleNet. It could be Ripple products like XRPL on that. But either way, they have those proof of concepts now to see that it actually works. That you or myself, I apply for this subsidy here now because I'm laid off of work. So what we did last time, we had to apply for it, and they acquired me for $2,000 a month. That's what the cost of acquisition was for a customer, $2,000 a month. So while I was laid off of work for 2 months, I said, heck, why not? I'm at home anyways. I applied for it, and I used that money to invest. Either way, I had to pay it back. But I had made money on the money that they had given me. But the proof of concept is now to see if this works. You have to proposition the government, speak to the government to get the government involved. You need the government, you need the business, and you need all the regulators involved. You need these things, you need one of each of these things, not one of. You need all these things cohesively to come together. You have businesses that want to utilize these things. You have regulators that want to keep these things in line. You have government that are like, okay, well, teach us how these things work. Show us how they work. Let us do a proof of concept. In tiptoes COVID again. So we can throw out some stimmies. Right? We can get Jay Powell to get some helicopter money in here again and dump hundreds of billions of dollars. And you know what else might happen? The war might intensify as well. So what does Sleepy Joe do? Send over billions upon billions. Billions upon billions of the Rocks fans! Or money over to Ukraine. I don't see why not. It's easy to do it now. They got the rails set up through Stellar, through USDC as the US dollar, as a proof of concept as well on blockchain. You see how these puzzles, these pieces are being put together here? So, you heard the man talk about Bulgaria and how Bulgaria was part of that. If we can get the EU on it, or the UK on it, or EU, whichever one he said, then we can get the countries like Sweden and Bulgaria and blah blah blah. If you can get the UK or the EU on there, the rest will follow. US will follow, Canada will follow, Australia will follow, China and the rest of the BRICS are doing their own thing, but in terms of the NATO allies, they will follow. I want to show you. Where is it? Oh, I guess it's not there. Maybe it's on my desktop. There it is. Okay. This one here. I showed you guys this yesterday. But I want to show it again because it's worth showing it again.
Right? It's separate.
Why do I want to show it again? Because you heard the man talk about Bulgaria. He's going to bring up Bulgaria as well in terms of what their economy was like when they had taken the dive and how they recovered. Okay? So, picture Bulgaria, but on a bigger playing field like Canada and US. Give me a minute to pause or not pause, but to mute myself so you can hear the audio clear.
Family from family members. It was that impactful. So we were expecting all bad things to hit remittance flows and migratory flows, to disrupt the flows. And the surprise is that the recovery, which initially we were thinking 2020, a 20% fall, maybe a 5% recovery in 2021. That was our April forecast. Remember, we made that like before the end of April.
Right.
In October, we realized that this, Q3, Q4, the data were already getting a little better. So we said, okay, it will not be like a 20% fall, 5% improvement in 2021. It would be 7.2% fall and another 7% fall.
Right.
In the end, it would be the same sort of level. So it is gradual fall. Now what we see is 2020 second quarter, a sharp drop, more than 20%. And in many, many countries, like Bulgaria, 86% fall. In many, many countries, it was 40, 50% fall. Right. And then, surprisingly, the deep point of the V became very narrow. And it was a quick recovery in third quarter and fourth quarter, and it has continued into the first quarter of 2021. Again, the surprise there is...
So, the surprise there is that there are sharp Sharp downturn and a quick recovery. Okay, they had a quick recovery. Why? Because they're utilizing blockchain. They're on digital. They weren't sending money out via envelope, via mail, via dead people, homing pigeon, SOS, whatever. It was digital. You go onto your phone, you connect to your bank connects to that entity that they have because they are a trusted entity of your bank. So you just fill out the information on your phone from your bank, you've connected to it, boom! What happens? You have that money immediately. They know you've done KYC because the bank knows their customer. They've KYC'd you already from the moment you log into your bank account. At least that's how it is here in Canada. I have RBC. I open the app. It asks me to verify my biometrics, my face. I've allowed that already. I log in, and then there it is there. That's how simple it is. That's how simple it is. So, now that I know what's going on, though, I'm not using any of the CERB or any of the stimmy money because I understand what's going on. I don't want to have to pay anything back. But, okay. Moving on. So, once we go up, as you said there, here's the guy said there, it's a sharp downturn and then a quick upturn. Okay, so 2020, they were down in Q3, Q4, and Q1, Q2. They were back up there. So that's what? I can't even count. 8 months. 8 months. They had a rebound. I'm not sure to what level they went back up to, but they had a rebound back in 2021 in a matter of 8 months. So economy of US size, economy of Canada size, economy of Australia. The Commonwealth, I guess we could say, might have a longer duration in terms of maybe 1.5 to 2 years to bring us back to what level? I'm not sure. I'm sure that'd be interesting to see on the charts. If any of you guys know how to read charts, run that. I would love to see that. And please share that with me on Twitter. I would love to see that. Now you have the game plan. Now you know what's going on up to 2025. I didn't play that message. Oh, no, I didn't play that message. I want to show you guys when. Right? Just so you know. I want to give you guys I want to give as much as I can. This is funny. That's hilarious. This fat Spider-Man. I had to share that. Okay. Where are you? I post a lot. I try to inform this crowd as much as I can. Is this it here? Okay. The UN has created an initiative known as the ETIR, which turns borders into bridges. Let me show you guys who they is. ETIR, who they is. Come on. There we go. There we are. Go. Okay. Look at this. The United Nations Global Border Crossing Facility Solution. Welcome to the ETIR. Welcome to the ETIR. On February 2020, countries have adopted provisions. Trust me, you guys won't hear this anywhere else. This is the first time I'm seeing these things here. Let me rephrase that. Just because it's the first time I'm seeing it doesn't mean you won't hear it anywhere else. You may hear it somewhere else, but this is the first time I'm presenting it because I didn't hear it from anywhere else other than my own research. So, that being said now, adopted provisions providing the legal basis for the paperless operation of the United Nations TIR Convention, the so-called ETIR, the only global custom transit system facilitating trade and the seamless and secure movement of goods across borders. What does that sound like to you? Trade finance? That's what it seems like to me. So, the benefits from the use of the ETIR procedure, the ETIR international systems, are multiple for all the stakeholders. Is your customs authority, where our customs cross-border. Ready to join the ETIR international system? Then contact the TIR Secretariat to start the interconnection project. Okay. Holders, e-guarantee users, Customs Authority, National Association, International Organization here. TIR with an E back in 2023. 2003, sorry. The contracting parties to the TIR convention launched an ETIR project. And you know what? I do have. Did I send that stuff to myself? No. Nope, I didn't send that stuff to myself, unfortunately. I have it at work on the computer there from research. Didn't send it to myself. How unfortunate. But that's what we were watching here. Blockchain and Global Trade Discussion Panel at WOF in October last year. This is all about global trade, folk. We know who Global Trade is. We know who XDC Global Trade is. So, that being said, in one of the videos I had played, this man said the name GS1. And I was like, what in the hell is GS1? So, I started digging into GS1. So here we go. GS1 and ISO, Partnering for Standards. All I gotta say is when you guys listen to my channel, you guys can expect nothing but the best. GS1 standards are now present in highly regulated sectors such as healthcare, fresh food, and food services. They are being used as the foundation for traceability or anti-counterfeiting services. And in this context, our collaborative work with ISO is more important than ever before. Wunderbar. Indeed, governmental regulations. We were talking about the government before and adoption, were we not? And laws often refer only to ISO standards. Indeed, governmental regulations and law often refer only to ISO standards. So having normative references to GS1 and ISO standards are very useful. So the government looks for ISO standards. I'm familiar with an ISO, aren't you guys? Well, I'm familiar with a couple of them, but the main one that I want to point out is ISO 20022. And we all know the coins that are adhering to that ISO. In addition, GS1 enjoys strong working partnerships and alliances with a variety of trade association, governmental organizations, and standards bodies, including the UN, Center for Trade Facilities and Electronic Business. Trade Facilities and Electronic Business. Let me do this live for you guys. Electronic Trade Document Act 2023. I tell you everything. It's a good. I tell you everything. This legislation, this comes in force in September. Okay, this comes into force and is enacted September 20th, 2023. This now removes the requirement to write in paper for your bills of lading, for all the information put on there, who it's for, who it's from, what it is, what it weighs, where it's going, the time of date, blah, 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 and all the connecting information, whether it's coming from me to the post office, from the post office to a truck, from the truck to the airport, from the airport on a plane to wherever, and it's now digital. And I'm not talking about PDFs. I mean, it's now digital. Now it has a digital twin. It's being tracked. And where is this coming from? The ICC, the International Chamber of Commerce with the WTO, the World Trade Organization, Trade Finance, the International Trade and Finance, ITFD, okay, there we go. And Global Trade Finance, did I say them already? All of them are connected to XDC. Ripple's in there as well. But the main of this section here is XDC. All of them connected to XDC. So we know what the standard is for that already. Where was I? So, one of the ISOs that stood out to me, here. I want to go through the ISOs with you guys here. So here are the different numbers, or acronyms, they are the different ISOs for this GS1. Let me just show you guys this document here. So you see I'm not talking out of my butthole. Right? The global language of business. Global language. I don't know if you guys heard that. Global language of business. I don't open up my own business and say it's global. I might be the guy down the road if I'm lucky, you know. Hey, you know that guy with a Spider-Man mask down the road? Man, you know I don't know that fool. This is global, all right? So, one word stood out to me after going through this. The global trade item number. And why did that stand out to me? Because I had seen it before. Here we are. This brings us to the World Economic Forum and the World Trade Organization. Two names, or one name I stated before, the World Trade Organization in collaboration with the WEF. The promise of trade tech policy approach to harness trade digitalization. Acknowledgement, the WEF acknowledges the WTO there. So as we go through this, my favorite things to look through are the table of contents. Forward, executive summary, introduction, global data transmission and liability frameworks, global legal recognition of electronic transaction documentation. Boom! That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see, and that's what I'm going to show you guys. Let me just finish this off here. Global digital identity. We were talking about identity. To get that STIMI check of persons and objects, digital interoperability of data models for trade documents and platforms, global trade rules and access, computational law, and yada, 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 yada. This is what I want. You're the one that I want, the one that I want. Ooh, ooh, ooh. So here we are. Here we are. Examples of tokenization and trade documents. I'm going to go off a little bit to show you guys that's the section we're in. Number 2 in legal. Come on. Yeah, they're talking about the MLETR, which is a UN initiative. We spoke about this already, okay? Holy hell, we're... Okay, there it is there. Sure, that's not it. It's just all the boxes. Signature. Okay, whatever. We're in section 2, though. So, trade tech. As we talk about trade finance. Trade tech, a technology provider for trade finance, asset distribution completed in September 21. What it says in the world's first trade finance based NFT transaction launched 2018. Trade Tech's platform enables originators to package trade finance products into standardized investments that can be bought and sold through private distribution networks and settled like common fixed income products. The trade finance NFT transaction was conducted on the Singapore-based XDC network operated by Zinfin. Trade finance assets were repackaged into NFTs using the network's blockchain technology. According to the participants in the transaction, NFTs significantly shortened the settlement time, enhanced traceability, and fractionalized investments, making it possible to tap into a larger investment base to create liquidity in the trade finance markets. So they're going to have digital twins of things. If I want to sell this phone now, I'm going to have to somehow put it on the blockchain, whether that's me taking a picture of it and now minting it on an NFT on the XDC network there, or me creating my own business and I become a shipping company, and my shipping company has an assembly line here. I connect with companies like Aletheon, and Aletheon has, what do they call that there? I guess a way to upload things onto the blockchain to identify what's what. In reality, I can take a picture of this phone and another identical phone, and it'll know that this phone is just this phone. And they're partnered with Simba Chain there, which is on the Stellar network. So that's what XDC is doing. Let me close this now with a, is this here with the T? More accuracy, here we go here, for exporters. So the ETIR objectives and advantages for exporters and importers: more accuracy with goods, delivery times, possibility to put goods on the market more quickly, and generate what? No. Okay, I guess that was it. But you see the languages there. The language is the same. Converting it to an NFT and getting it to market reduces the time, makes TIR more attractive, and eases its management. No physical stock of TIR guarantees required reduction of related cost. Whatever. Let's see this quick video. I don't think I've watched this one. Well, that's 6 minutes. I'm not watching that. I'm not watching this creepy lady. I'm not even sure if she's real. Nothing about her looks real. I'm just going off on a tangent now. Nothing about her looks real. But what I want to show you guys here, some interesting facts. I was talking to Dark Horse on Twitter, or X, as they call it now. I mean, I guess I can't tweet. I X. That's so stupid. Okay. So yeah, I sent out a tweet. I don't care what it's called. I sent out a tweet. And that Ripple doesn't have to place or put its XRP on its balance sheet. So it shows up as 0. Meaning that when it was OpenCoin, it was gifted to Ripple as XRP, or they changed its name to XRP at that point. And it was gifted at 0 value because it had no value yet. So it's nothing, it's 0 on their balance sheet. So whatever they sold before though and bought back, that's their secondary, what do they call secondary markets at that point there? So that has a showing on their balance sheet, or that would have a showing on their balance sheet. So that being said, my man Dark Horse is phenomenal with finding information in regards to the court. So what does this say here? Security credit, or secure. Let me just. It says clear out your eyes so you can read. Okay, securing credit against XRP to get loans. If we want to get credit against XRP, we probably have to set aside XRP in an escrow amount, over collateralize in XRP to 110% of the loan. For example, on top for mark to market. If we aren't able to set aside the full amount due at our escrow monthly limitations, selling forward doesn't help. A lot of revolving credit lines will only allow you to borrow based on assets currently committed. Not sure we'd actually be able to do this anytime soon. Most banks won't even manage our cash and do treasury operations for us because they don't get involved with companies with virtual currencies. So someone's going to have to get involved for companies with virtual currencies. Who is that? Because they have it in escrow already, so it's not a regular bank. So someone's custodying it. That's where PolySign comes in. My face is sideways. Sitting sideways like Paul Wall. Okay. Employee compensation, internal consideration. We aren't there now. But if... Shit, where that creepy lady is looking at me. We aren't there now, but if IRS, Accounting Board, SEC provides clarity on virtual currency treatment, which they haven't, we may want to offer employee compensation in XRP on a much broader scale than we do today. Super early, but kicking off discussions on this. Not sure this will go anywhere due to the complexity, but could see that maybe changing in 5 to 10 years now. This is all very interesting to me. I hope it is to you guys. Our precedent for pricing, considers XRP and escrow as an undeveloped asset, meaning it's not a defined amount of 55 billion locked in an escrow. It's unmined, it's undefined, it's unbirthed, it's unearthed, it doesn't exist yet. I mean, it exists within their computer code that amount exists, it's mined, but it's not just an amount taking up data and space and RAM on a computer. It's carbon neutral, I guess you could say, or offsetting carbon. Analogous to mining and commodities industry, where a company has mineral and land rights to unmined resources, assets still in the ground. So for instance, gold, if you own that land there, you can claim that you have gold, but it's still in the ground, so you don't know how much gold, but you know there's gold in the ground. You've done your exploration, your exploratory phase, you've done your consultancy phase, you've done your whatever phases there are. Analysts use discount cash flow models to price the undeveloped asset by making assumptions on the future value, time to unearth, and cost to unearth. XRP would be the same, except the cost to unearth would be 0. Reiterating that point, the real challenge will just be how to forecast the price given volatility and liquidity. So when will that come into play? When will that locked up liquidity with 0 value to it, 0 value to mine, already exists but doesn't exist, need to be called upon? Will that be during the printing press times of 2023, end of 23 into 2024, when I'm forecasting it? Did I show you guys that video yet? The gentleman talking about it? No, I didn't. I read it to you, but I didn't show you. So let me go into this now. So blockchain must be accepted by the governments to be ready for the enhanced rollout of blockchain in 2025. Right? Listen to this man.
Here you see some of the...
You learned who he was already. You heard him speak before. I had just shown you his video. So let me get into this here. Let me mute myself.
Examples that are currently discussed in this space that I represent, which is make the border go away, make you move goods faster, more efficiently, more effectively. The EU is looking at forecast studies. You know the example of the Singapore Chamber of Commerce, the e-certificate for origin. There is advancement on the ETIR convention, all enabling blockchain. So, and now we've heard it with Egypt. The steps are there, but we need more government support. We're not there yet, in my opinion. So to conclude, yes, we hear a lot of good things. Yes, we see what happens in Egypt. But we need the government to buy in. We need to answer 4 fundamental questions, as I've laid out. That creates the use case, that creates the business case, and that creates acceptance. Unless the government's on board, and the government is implementing it through its system, unless the government says, yes, businesses, I want you to adopt it, like Egypt has just shown, the technology is there, the use case must be explained, and if all of that comes together, then we are ready, Jacob, for 2025, when blockchain rolls up in an enhanced fashion. That's it. Thank you so much for your attention. I think I'm all out of talk.
Sorry, man. I had to pull up my Salt Bay on that one. 2025, sprinkle a little bit of salt on that mother. For the enhanced rollout of blockchain in 2025. And you hear them talking about what? Trade finance. This is from the trade finance, the global trade finance. We were just talking about XDC and the Electronic Trade Document Act 2023, which is implemented or being enacted in September on the 20th of this year, 2023. Boom!
Here you see some of
Shut your beak. Okay. So I want to give you a bit of facts about RippleNet now, because somebody had gotten into a discussion with me on here when I said that Ripple or XRP, RippleNet and XRPL use similar coding to, was it XRPL or just RippleNet? I don't remember which one it was, but use a similar code to the Swift network of their messaging service. And they're like, no, they don't. I'm not going to fight with you. I got no time to fight. I mean, I can just pull up some documents and show you some shit, which is what I'm going to do. So, how Ripple is re-engineering cross-border payments. This is back from 2018. Back in the day when I was just a little kid. Okay. So, we live in a world where we are exploring other planets. We are. I guess, you know what? Yeah, that's just very true. We are. I'm not. Other people aren't. But a lot of people are. I'm sure we as a human species have been doing it for years now. My man Brucey's all on YouTube has this fantastic telescope where he checks out movement on the moon there, and it sounds like I'm nuts here, but check him out. Brucey's all. The intro to his YouTube channel is Bruce sees all. And I think he laughs in the back. Ha ha ha. Anyways, this man's telescope zooms in. Like you can see your future if he zoomed in on your forehead. Other planets, self-driving cars are in the headline. And over 3 billion people are connected online, yet cross-border payments take days, if not weeks, to settle. It is currently faster to move money from New York to London by taking it on an airplane and flying it there rather than waiting for traditional banks to transfer. Currently, global financial institutions rely on a relatively antiquated and cumbersome process to transfer funds that may take several days to formally settle through settlement systems messaging sent via SWIFT. Yada, yada, yada. So here we go. How does it work? Step uno. Payment initiation. Ripple will automatically find the fastest way to route a transaction between sender and recipient bank within RippleNet. So if the BOE and the BOC, Bank of Europe, of England, Bank of Canada, they're both part of RippleNet. They both are, potentially. I'm sure they are. And we'll calculate the payments cost. Step 2, pre-transaction validation. So compliance screening and account verification checks are performed by each bank through existing messages, which is KYC, know your customers, such as SWIFT, VIN, FIN, or ISO. SWIFT, FIN, so that RippleNet is using SWIFT, FIN, SWIFT Financial, SWIFT, whatever the heck FIN stands for. It's using the messaging system. It says it right there. Checks are performed by each bank through existing messages types such as SWIFT, FIN, and ISO 20022. Or I20. What the hell? Okay. Thereby pre-validating the payment to facilitate straight-through transfer. Cryptographic hold of funds, secure locking of funds. Cryptographic holds are placed on the funds across the 2-3 bank ledgers, which cause the funds to be securely locked until the transaction is either completed or fails. Cryptographic holds act like escrow. We had gone through some escrow here accounts, where the funds are maintained until certain criteria are met. Digital signatures are created to verify that there are holds on all required funds for the transfers. Then all funds are simultaneously released, atomic settlement, released across the ledgers. There is no settlement risk as either they will release at the same time or funds are returned. That's an atomic settlement. Step 4, confirmation. Ripple provides confirmation to all banks that the transaction was successful and the bank ledgers are updated. Cryptocurrency. The above process can work with or without a cryptocurrency, all referred to as digital virtual currency. The most widely used software solution used to access RippleNet is Xcurrent, which does not utilize any cryptocurrency. Ripple also allows banks to utilize its native cryptocurrency called XRP through its XRapid product. This allows banks to further decrease the cost involved as it reduces the number of participants needed in a transaction and allows banks to free up additional liquidity. Nostro Vostro account. So why leverage? Why leverage Ripple? Why leverage their platform? The end-to-end transfer process takes minutes with the benefits of visibility of the transactions throughout, as settlements occur simultaneously with the transaction, reconciliation, and other operating expenditures are significantly reduced. It's fast. Period. That's why. So who's using Ripple? Ripple has over 100 clients. Ripple has over, I don't even know how many hundreds of clients. This is back in 2018. We're in 2023 now. The majority of which are using Xcurrent. Xcurrent functions as explained under, so how does it work? Which we had just read here. So how does it work? Here's the Swift messaging system. Okay. Above and high-profile companies using Xcurrent include Standard Chartered, which is an entity created by JP Morgan, DPS Bank, and is that it? I want to say that's it. There might be another one there. MUFG Bank in Japan, BMO, Axis Bank, UBS, RBC in Canada. BMO is Canadian also. It's Bank of Montreal. Westpac in the States, Credit Agricole, Santander, and AE, American Express. So, regulations. People think I'm crazy when I tell you that Ripple adheres to regulations. They have to. Ripple has to adhere to regulations. For a bank to want to use an entity that's potentially unregulated, oh, come on. They set the rules. Why would they not want to use something that's regulated? Come on. As Ripple currently connects banks and not individuals, it can ensure that all the regulatory steps are met within the process. It also allows banks to perform their own due diligence during the pre-transaction validation step. That's KYC. So the bank will know who the other bank is at that point. They will know if the other bank meets regulations. They will know who is who. That's where the GLEI comes in. GLEI, Global Legal Entity Identifier. However, Ripple's cryptocurrency XRP is not yet in the clear. This is old, right? They're not sued. I mean, the court case is done. There's another court case or whatever happening now. A lot of horse shit. I don't even waste my time with that. I just keep studying. The court case will prevent you from studying unless you're studying the court case and learning the legal jargon behind what's going on. What's next? Ripple believes its latest product, XRapid, will soon be adopted by major banks. RippleNet. XRapid works similar to Xcurrent, however it leverages XRP, Ripple's native cryptocurrency, to provide the liquidity for settlement. This allows for quicker transactions, lower exchange conversion fees, and lower transaction costs. Time will tell if Ripple is able to live up to the hype. I'm sorry, they're living up to the hype to me. There's a party, the Ripple party, or the XRP party out in New York on September 29th. I won't be there. There's nothing to celebrate yet. I'm not trying to preemptively celebrate something that's, it's still speculative. I do my homework on this. I present homework on this. I show you guys what I know. I'm going to show you what I'm learning in terms of the economy, show you what I'm learning in terms of RippleNet, cryptocurrencies, blockchain, other companies, partnerships, finances, real estate. I'll show you guys what I know. I'm giving you my heart and soul here, my blood, sweat, and tears. You know what I'm saying? So you know what I know. But I think it's too early to celebrate. That's like you're going out to battle and you get drunk and high and then go out to fight the next day. You're going to get your ass killed out there. You're about to get killed out there. you know, recovering still from the night prior to that. You need to be in game space and in game day ready to go. So that's where I'm going to be. And then 2 days before that party, September 29th, on September 27, you have the, let me show you. Faster Payments Council member meeting. Ripple's involved in this, right? Ripple is a member on this. This is where it is, the 27th here. So before the party with Ripple, 2 days before that, they will be in, where is this? Where is it taking place? Together with the FRP in Memphis. They will be in Memphis, speaking there. With all these people here, the Clearinghouse, MasterCard, Form 3, Juniper, BNY Bellin, BNY Mellon, Finsley, Currency Research, Wells Fargo, Trustly, you know, Shazam! They'll be there with all these guys. And then 2 days later, they'll be with you guys at the party. What's the party up yet? What's the party about yet? You know, we were determined that it's not a security. Yeah, we knew that. We knew it was hybrid. What is it? Tell me what it is. I want to know what it is. That way, when we know what it is, then it can be used. It can be defined. It can have qualities to it. It can be, we know what it is and we know what it's not. There is real clarity in the market at that point. There's real clarity for XRP. It's not what we're living and going through right now, where we know it's not a security. So, thank you guys for staying with me. I know this was a long one here, but I hope you found value in this one. Please like, subscribe, share this message. Like Dylon says, my favorite rappers are Dylon, and Dylon. It's 'cause I spit hot fire, man. Love you all. I'll see you on the next one.
Making major moves. We going all in. Like we got nothing to lose. We making moves. We making major moves. We making moves.